I recently talked to someone from like a top large like a delivery like a marketplace, one of the largest delivery providers in the world, and that guy was responsible for helping restaurants interact with delivery drivers in a much efficient way.
Yeah.
So they came up with an idea of placing for free those like racks that help delivery drivers to find order quickly. Based on their tons of data, I get hundreds of millions of orders. They realized that every minute shaved like from this like a delivery picking up journey leads to 1% of order volume increase for this restaurant. 1 minute equals 1% of volume increase. That's a dramatic change. I guess what we want to do is to help delivery providers interact with restaurants in the most efficient way. That's the way how can we send and source those data points about kitchen performance by shift, by day of the day, time of the day to delivery providers, so they are able to understand by using those clear data points how to optimize those deliveries.
Welcome to Captive Conversations, brought to you by Captive Wi-Fi. I'm your host, Adam Foreman. This podcast brings you the best stories from suppliers, marketers, and operators from our beloved hospitality sector. Now, let's get on with the show. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to episode 85 of Captive Conversations. We have Yaro from PigPad today. Thank you for coming. It'll be really interesting to listen on your journey because it's quite a cool little product, to be fair. It's not a little product, but it's a big product, but it's really interesting. We met a little while ago, actually. Were you here when I met you, or you?
I think so. Yeah, I've just arrived.
Yeah,
and you probably you were the one of the first person I talked to.
Yeah.
So let's go. Yeah,
it was really interesting, actually. I mean, I literally when you showed me, I just sort of deep dived into it. So, which is pretty cool. But we'll come to all the other info in a bit. But so we're going to start with the questions from Gabrielle. And the first question was, what was the one decision that you've made in the last year that has significantly strengthened or impacted your brand or in your guest side?
Yeah, it's a great question from Gabriel. I guess we've been building this product for 1 year and a few months, and we just started to build presence and awareness and a brand thing there. So the thing that helped me to just spread the word about what we are building is, first, I tried to launch the first version of this product as soon as possible. To be able to just learn from that, like a hardware thing and operations and first customer feedback, but at the same time, showing people what does the new reality look like in terms of digital hospitality. And the second part is, while I was testing the solution in first places, I was visiting back to back 4 major trade shows in the US, talk to people, show them not the product, like a working product, a probably product, something that can work in different ways. So I collected different pieces of feedback. I talked to so many.
Which one of the shows did you do in the US?
Yeah, it was CES and then MarTech and then Food on Demand and Red Show.
Did you, CES is big and insane, but MarTech is massive. It's 5 football pitches.
I wanted to hear what people say. I didn't want to close my door and start building the product. I just wanted to hear what people think, different pieces of feedback. And it was really great experience because I had so many great conversations, started to build so many great relationships with companies, collected a lot of letters of intent for a product that barely exists.
Yeah.
Hundreds of applications.
That's the way forward though, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, question 2. What's been the biggest challenge in aligning your team with your vision, and what did you change to overcome it?
Yeah, the vision is super important, and to be aligned with the vision is the most important part in any organization. But I guess we are a very small team of engineers, and it's not too much to align. So we are full aligned here. But the biggest challenge with the vision is that it's kind of challenging for me to translate this vision for different type of customers, operators, investors, because engineers see sensors and machine learning, customers like a fancy displays.
Yeah, pretty.
And
They see the pretty stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
and operators, they have like different challenges, like kind of like challenges with operational efficiency and labor efficiency and order accuracy and like different aspects of problems we can solve. So for me, it's the most challenging part is how to condense and how to like have this like a 20 seconds pitch of my vision to everyone.
Yeah, that works for everyone. Or is it different pitches?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
that's why like my kind of like a way to do so is just like to chat more and learn more about the person before I start.
Yeah,
like talking about our product, because that's the way you can adjust your like pitch and like talk more about your vision based on the person.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go into standard questions. The first question is the best hospitality experience. It can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. So where's the memory that hits?
I can tell you my not best, my worst experience, and compare it to the best experience.
Go for it.
And not because I want to complain or blame the rest. Which I will not mention.
Yeah.
But because I just like wanted to highlight that the best experience you can have. Is not about the Michelin stars and high-end environments and interiors and so on, because it was like a moment where I booked a table at a very nice restaurant, Michelin star. We have a special occasion with my wife, and it was Chicago in like a winter and like a minus 25 degrees. And I booked an Uber like upfront, probably earlier than I should have to. We arrived there like 25 minutes before. It was cold, and restaurant is opening like at 6 p.m. And we are staying like in front of this beautiful restaurant with large windows and watching how people doing their prep. And they see us, and we're like, "Can we please like enter?"
Can we not freeze,
freezing
please?
cold, freezing cold. No one did allow us to enter, unfortunately. But 6 p.m. 0 minutes, 0 seconds. They were their smiles, and everything was like a theater, and everything was incredible and great interior, and food was beautiful, and the last dessert and wasn't bad. Everything was incredibly great. It was a theater, but what I remember is just like they just
the first part, right? Why wouldn't they be hospitable and just let you in? It's not like you were 50 people outside, right?
Exactly, and that's all about hospitality. It's not about like something you can train or fake. You're just like a want to be want to care about people. And my best experience was recently in Lisbon. It was like a tiny place. You can't find it if you don't know. Like a tiny street, no signboards. And my friends recommended me and took me there. And just the absolutely standard like interior. And one person, her name is Mary, and she was a math teacher, and she was dreaming about her own restaurant. And when she was 60, she finally opened that restaurant. So when you enter this place, you feel this like a care. She like your grandma. And she's your server and host, and I mean, she's cooking something. And you just like feel this kind of like a sense of hospitality and care, and it's like you came back home. And that was something that
it's so interesting, because you think about best experiences, right? The Michelin star should have been your best experience. It should have been welcoming and wonderful and so on, but the memory you have is waiting for them to let you in. Which is unfortunate, but it probably, as you say, probably was a good meal. But I think it's the care we had when Gabrielle was on last week. She was like, it's when you feel cherished and cared and looked after. It doesn't have to be Michelin star. I mean, you can go to chef's table, blah blah blah, and so on, right? But those sort of experiences, I've got a local Italian where I live, and he cops out, he says hello, he sits down, chats with people. He's that person, and you feel like you're cared about, rather than going to a traditional restaurant where then you're not. But even the smaller places, like you said, you're right. It's the thought and the care and the attention that will always hit that memory moment. So I love that. Okay, best hospitality tech, but no self noms.
There are so many
I know.
great companies.
Maybe
Captive,
something you've used. Thank
Wi-Fi.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, so many companies. But I love stories.
Yeah.
And what I love about the like a hospitality tech, that there are so many like pieces you can improve by using technologies. And it was like 20 years ago where one guy, his name is Noah, he just invented something that allowed you as a customer use your Nokia phone, no internet connection probably, right? And send a message to a restaurant to get your coffee ready before you pick it up.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago. And that company became a company which is known as Olo, one of the largest.
Oh, really? I didn't know. That's interesting. I didn't know that behind Olo.
Yeah, that's the one of the largest
huge
companies. They are huge in the US.
Yeah.
So one like a top best of the best companies.
Yeah. Well, they are buying more and more, aren't they?
Buying more and more. He actually sold this company for $2 billion recently. But it's not about money. It's about the vision of a person who invented some like a crazy stuff. Like
there was a problem.
20 years
there
ago.
was a problem. He was trying to fix it, which is similar to what you're doing, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like a problem,
Yeah.
and probably so many like people thought it's kind of like a crazy idea. But right now, it became all online ordering, and there are thousands of online ordering solutions, and it's kind of like something that is very, very common thing. It's like online ordering is commodity, but it all started from one like a crazy idea. And
that is a correct. To be fair, 20 years ago, that is a bit of a. But to be fair, SMS in the US was so behind us. We had text messages, and Europe had text messages. Way behind. My friend went to America a bit earlier than that, and he was texting someone, and then going like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm sending a message to my friend." He goes, "What's that?" They didn't really have the messaging piece, so he must have just done it when messaging sort of just started, because it was very early on. They were
that's true,
America was super behind when it came to. Now it's obviously at the forefront of what's coming through, but it's really interesting to see. That must have been like unknown, like sending text messages. That's
exactly,
insane.
and I also respect like people who are brave enough to introduce some like new concepts and be crazy enough to like push it forward. Before.
Well, it's being a disruptor, I think, which is a nice conversation. Okay, so we like to go back in time, so the history where you started, what you did, not PickPad, but where you started before, where the journey here got to, and then we'll tee into where you got to, how you got to what you got.
Yeah, I've been building tech solutions for the hospitality space for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old, and I'm telling
you don't look 40 years old.
Yeah, I'm telling this just because sometimes people think I'm 25. And when I say about 15 years of experience, they say like,
when you were 12?
Or you're like 10 years old. So
I understand that nowadays, because like a 10-year-old could probably build something. But
for sure. That's true. And it's all started. I'm Ukrainian, so all started in Ukraine. I built like something like a first for fun. I lived in my home city, which is Chernihiv. It's like a small calm town, like 300,000 people around. And I was looking for some kind of like a source of information about entertainments and restaurants and like everything. So I didn't manage to find any great sources. So I decided to build a city guide with like a great restaurants, previews, and probably entertainment announcements and so on. And that led me to more conversations with restaurants. And I just realized that there are so many things in like in this space that can be fixed using tech. And I realized that there's a huge like a trend for off-premise. People just want to be like a casually served at home, or take something for takeaway pickup. So I started to build a food delivery marketplace like
Okay.
Deliveroo, Just Eat, and so.
So did you started with the guide first? So
Yes.
and you
Yeah.
split and so then you had contact with all those restaurants already.
Yeah, that
in the
was
guide.
like absolutely natural,
Yeah.
like a transition.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like, oh, I want to build this like a marketplace.
Yeah.
It was like, oh,
There's a
I
need.
see people like come to restaurants and ask for some like takeaway orders, or what if like, or they call taxi and ask taxi driver to pick their pizza and
Yeah.
deliver. And restaurants like they are having so many this kind of orders, they don't know how to work with them. So it was one of the first like marketplaces in
Yeah.
the country, and the first marketplace that combined not only like ordering generation part, because it was super easy just to generate some orders. I realized quickly that restaurants need support in deliveries, so I connected those two parts, ordering and delivery.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was fun. It was fun, fun experience. Scaled this marketplace in 15 cities.
Okay, cool.
Delivered millions of orders.
So were you doing? I mean, were you plug into POS, or were you doing separate devices for the like print Just Eat model, where they'd give you back in the day, you'd have this giant Just Eat box that would be delivered to you,
yeah,
and it would print off the orders. Were you non-integrated with just like the order would print in the kitchen, for example?
Yeah, I would say even now, if you want to send order to a restaurant, you have to be, and you are a marketplace, you have to be integrated with hundreds.
Yeah, nowadays.
Not hundred, like tens, like a top tier system, and it's challenging, right?
Yeah, because not everything's open, right?
Yeah, and like 12 years ago, I started in 2013. 12 years ago, like 13 years ago, it was like a kind of like challenge as well. So, and I started from scratch. I had like a $500 of savings.
Yeah.
So I spent all those money for tablets. I ordered them in China. I remember it was like a 10 or 12 like a pads delivered from China, because that was the most inexpensive way to get them. And I just created a super like a simple way to like interact with restaurants. They placed those tables, and that was the main interface to interact with restaurants.
Yeah, so they would accept it?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
perfect.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then we started to build those integrations and so on. But the easiest way to start was to just to buy those like tablets and provide for us.
And at that point, how long ago was this?
Some restaurants still use those like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because sometimes you just like can't integrate with their system.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So how long ago did you start that product, that project?
So it was 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the beginning times, there was nothing there at that point, right?
Yeah.
It was interesting. Oh, amazing. So, and then what? 15 cities did you say?
Yeah, it was scaled in 15 cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really, really fun to see how the industry is growing.
Yeah.
And how the consumption patterns are changing, how people are switching from ordering by phone to ordering online.
Yeah, massive change.
We were the part of this process, and it was really fun to see.
Yeah, amazing. So what happened towards then? So you got to the expansion of those cities. Where did you hit to after that?
Yeah, so I had a really like pragmatic strategy. We were in a venture-backed startup, and the strategy was to launch service in those cities where we can be profitable on month 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. So to build very pragmatic, profitable business,
which is hard, especially for SaaS, right?
Especially for marketplaces, because I guess like before probably 2024, 2023, all the major and not major marketplaces were like unprofitable.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a gambling,
Yeah,
huge gambling game.
Mhm.
You either have like enough market share and you have a dominance, and then you can have a healthy economics. On a scale, it's all about economics on a scale.
Yeah, of course.
Or you are pouring millions to capture this market share. So I chose the third way, which is launching service in those cities where we could be profitable. So that's why we just like stopped.
So you did the research to see what was there.
Yeah.
If there was nothing there, then you knew that would be.
Yeah.
Nice.
and you have advantage to be the first in the market, and you build your customer base.
Yeah, and I guess they guided
yeah,
they guided you as well. So any
Yeah.
changes, you were probably agile in making those changes, right?
Exactly. And then we once realized that, all right, so we have some kind of like a presence in those cities, and we've actually built a really robust system for our internal operations. What if we launch like a SaaS? What if we share our technologies with other delivery businesses or other companies or other chains?
Yeah.
We started to provide this ordering and delivery and marketing and loyalty systems as a service for different restaurants.
So they could use it internally for their own use, right? Is that what the purpose?
Yeah, why not? So if you build, you've spent like years building your own platform, why not to share this platform with other like companies and make it SaaS? So that's super logical. And the second most like logical way to think about the growth was, what if we launch some like kitchen brands? Because we faced the challenge. So we had so many orders, so sometimes restaurants didn't manage to complete.
Yeah.
So we realized that we just like want to build a system, and we just like don't want to be dependent, like fully dependent on restaurants. What if we create some brands, some kitchens, like a ghost kitchens?
So ghost kitchens, nice. So were that your brands, or they used your space?
No, we build those kitchens from scratch. With no like restaurant experience, kitchen experience. And it's so fun.
I'm sure.
So many mistakes.
I'm sure.
But that was part of my kind of like a journey, like in terms of discovery. I just like wanted to like roll my sleeves and understand how this part is working. So many things.
Yeah.
So
were the brands your brands, or were you building the space for the restaurant brands that you already?
No, our brands.
Your brands, nice.
Yeah. So, and what we've done, we didn't work with any like high-end chefs. For creating menus, but instead we just pulled in information from our database about consumption patterns, preferences in some specific areas.
Yeah, you must have tons of data.
Tons of data.
Yeah,
you can like make it work.
Yeah.
So we launched several 3 brands, tested the market, and it was like a successful from like day one.
Yeah.
With it just
because you had the data. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
What were the question is, there's a line, right? There's a line of your current customers, you know, all this data that you have, and then you potentially going into competition with the brands that are out there. What was the fallback like from there? Was it a bit like what are you doing? Or were they just open for you to do it? I'm sure you weren't, you know, doing like billions of orders, but to start with.
Yeah, I guess.
It's interesting looking at the data.
Yeah, we were using like a fully anonymized data and like rather like a patterns. Than like some like a fragmental pieces of information. So I guess we just like wanted to help because they didn't manage to work with this volume of orders. And we showed those brands the direction they can move also. We like yours
was like a pilot of what could happen, right?
Of course, because we openly show them how this like construction can work. And some brands used that as a prototype of their like operations for delivery. So that was the way to show the market how can it work.
So not only that, you're actually utilizing it to let people see how quickly they can do it.
Exactly,
so
because
helping operations speed up. So in my mind, it was like, you're a bit cheeky because you're launching a food brand that's basically taking theirs, but you're saying that they actually didn't have the capacity to do orders anyway.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, you built the kitchens to make some little bit of money, but also to show them operationally, actually, if you do it this way, it will work.
Exactly, because
so that's tech teaching, tech hospitality, tech teaching hospo how to exceed. I mean, you're looking on the back. You guys analytically, without any training and built this dark kitchen, right? To get it going, but use the analytical brains that you have. Of hold on, how can this process work quicker?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it was teaching because we made so many mistakes. It was more like a discovering and sharing them our experience that can help. Because we all have the same challenge: how to work with this volume of orders and how to keep the same like a level of like a quality and like at the end of the day hospitality, right?
Yeah.
So, and I guess that was the way to show many brands that this model exists. Please check it out, and probably you can do the same.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So did that come to an end, or is it still going, or did you exit?
Yeah. So I ran 3 businesses, and like when the war started overnight, like I shut down all 3. A lot of things like happened. I moved my family abroad, spent some time in
Yeah.
Europe. I eventually relaunched a marketplace.
Okay.
So it's still working in those cities
Yeah.
where it can make sense. And I passed the SaaS business to my co-founder, so he's running this business.
Yeah.
And he's doing a really great job there. And we decided to close the Ghost Kitchen branch because we were investing
Yeah.
heavily
Yeah.
in this space,
Yeah.
and we were learning, and we scaled it in 3 cities actually.
Really?
Yeah, and we learned a lot, but it was so like a human intensive, operational intensive business.
Yeah, of course.
So unfortunately had to like just like close this part. So yeah, and then like I decided to move to the US because I felt like it's the great place to learn more
The
about
land
the
of
industry.
dreams.
It was not actually about the dream.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so I want to build something from scratch.
Yeah.
Um, I want to maximize my chances for success, and I
Yeah.
want to learn how this industry works.
Yeah. I
And
have
the
to go
best,
back a little bit for
yeah,
you. I have to say that I am. It's unfortunate and it's a shame, and it pulls my heart a little bit that if that hadn't happened, you would have the brand would have exploded, right? Of where you were. It's just and things happen in life, and you're beyond our
yeah,
control, right? So you've done obviously you've done the right thing to look after yourself and your family, but it kills me because that the growth of what you were doing
yeah,
is insane, from building that from nothing all the way up and then having to do what you're doing. But I'm
yeah.
glad that I'm glad your co-founder is still, building it out and going.
I mean, yeah, it's life, and you can't predict a lot of things,
No.
and you just want to keep it going
Yeah.
and be. I mean, and it's not about business.
Yeah.
When the war started, I realized that it's no more about money or like a business. Or
No.
you can launch any business like anytime. It's the what I understood that the human life is and something that brings you to this world it makes sense,
Yeah.
right? And probably we or just have to understand what we are good at and just deliver the value to this world.
Pivot and then pivot because
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
you do in tech, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
always about pivoting.
yeah. It's all about understanding your best parts and delivering value
Yeah.
and making something good for this world. So yeah, I mean, and those things are happening, and they make you better,
Yeah.
more resilient, and I guess it helps with next steps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So what happened when you moved to the US? Did you have a concept idea, or did you start just thinking about what the next steps were?
yeah. So my initial
Because you're a builder, right? Like your brain
yeah.
is building, and you're not like you're going to sit on your laurels.
Yeah, my initial idea. So I decided to move to the US and discover how can I implement those things we've already built with my co-founder
Yeah.
in the US. So, and I spent a lot of time just discovering market, talking to people, and trying to understand how can we apply our tech to this environment and how can we scale those expertise. But what I quickly realized that it was like a time machine.
Yeah.
I moved 5-10 years
Yeah.
from now, and companies like Olo and hundreds of other different companies have already built the same platform and have already built a presence and the customer base
Yeah.
and it was like a past. And yeah, I just like realized that, all right, so we cannot scale something there. And we agreed that my co-founder, he actually had a really great idea to scale this business there where it's scalable,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
So we agreed that he is scaling this business in Europe, in
Yeah.
some European countries,
Nice.
and yeah, he is focusing on this part.
There's so many
And
different posers out there as well. Like
exactly,
it's gone
exactly,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just like decided to all right, like build something from scratch and build for the future of the industry.
Mm.
And I just like wanted to solve the problem on a scale, really like a massive problem, modern problem on a
Yeah.
scale. So started to think about this.
And then what was it? Was there stuff before that you went through with a different thought process of before you found that concept, or what was it like? Because obviously I'm assuring loads. I mean, you're in the US. So hospitality is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty good in the US. You know, it's an interesting conversation. Lots of interesting tech we see, which is really interesting. Australia's a little bit ahead of us for tech. That they've got high adoption for table ordering. It's a bit further. We're sort of next, and then we feel like I know that there's POS companies coming over here like Square and Toast that have good tools, but I think we're slightly higher, faster in adopting tech than the US. I think the US is still a little bit behind us. I mean, there are Olos and loyalty and so on, but I still think the people using tech here is faster outgrowing the it's I feel that it comes Australia then here then America.
Yeah.
That's sort of how we see the flow of like tech changes. Like people are more adopting. Before COVID, Australia were doing QR ordering. If you went to a restaurant in Australia and there wasn't QR ordering, they'd get up and leave because it was already adopted. Here, it's still like, is it there? Is it not there? You know, and so on. And in the US, it's like some people do it. Lots of old school, thousands of franchisees aren't doing it.
Yeah.
The newer, younger people in the US who are rolling out franchises are using the right tech. But I still think it's pretty old. Some of it's quite stuck.
Yeah. And I think you're right. And because the US market is so huge and so distributed, so many people, huge territory, I guess they have they have just like so many legacy
so many
product problem. So you come to a place and they are still using like a POS that was built
and the swipe for the credit card, right? The swipe.
That's why they just like ask for your credit card.
Yeah, they take it away.
Yeah. So because that's how their system is working now.
Honestly, I went to New York a couple of years ago and I went to a really old school restaurant. And I'm tech, right? So I know all the platforms out there. I've been doing it for like 20 years. So I'm sitting there. And I've always been taught over here, never give anyone your card. Don't give anyone your card, right? So the person goes, okay, you want to pay the bill? I was, here's the bill. I was like, great, here's my card. And he tries to take it from me. And I'm like, I'm holding it hard because no one takes your card. Like just in this country, no one takes your card from you and so on. So he's like, no, I need to take it. I was like, where are you taking it? He's like, just swipe it on the till. I was like, okay. And it was a Monzo, and Monzo by default blocked the Stripe. By default. And I didn't realize, right? So he takes it, he swipes. My phone's in my pocket. It was on silent. I didn't realize, and it's buzzing saying decline. You know, or you need to unlock your Stripe. And the guy comes up and goes, "I'm so sorry, you haven't got any funds on your account, but it's declined." And I was like, okay. And I brought my phone out, and it's like error. You know, so I was like, okay, you can go try it again. And I'm literally watching him walk and then swipe and then do. I just blew my mind. Like still, even like the new, even like Toast over there still has the swipe at the top and swipe at the top. You know, you'll maybe see 0.2% of people here coming from other places that will use the swipe. But that was like 4 years ago when I went. I mean, Starbucks had Apple Pay back then. But it's really like, you're right. It's still, they're still using because it works. Why change?
It's legacy, and it's not because those companies don't want to adopt new technologies. I guess it's because like a consumption behavior, and a lot of people who just like get used to this this flow. They just like put this card, and here you go.
Yeah.
They just like don't want to change their behavior.
Yeah.
And that's why restaurants have to like be flexible. So they can do like a card reader,
Yeah.
or like Apple Pay, or like kiosks or apps, or like other like a system. So it's kind of like the legacy problem there.
Yeah.
And for example, I was surprised recently by like learning some numbers about how people order food, like by like channels. And right now, like 30% of people ordering their deliveries using phone calls.
Yeah.
30%,
That's a lot.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Was so like a
Is that here or over there?
in the US.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it's not about the like your restaurant tech adoption, it's about the consumption patterns.
I also think it's about learning.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because education as well, right? I think that when we speak to our clients in the US, we talk about apps and loyalty and wallet. I'm talking about wallets at the moment. Wallets here is massive, right? The loyalty wallet, having the wallet in your phone, and so on. Apps here, no one really wants an app unless it's a coffee shop or something like a brand, like a food hall you go to, right? So you can use the app, but apps offload now, right? So Apple have now offloaded the app. So if you don't use it in a couple of months or whatever, or a couple of weeks, Apple will just offload it off your phone.
Yeah.
You don't get push notifications. You don't get anything. It's there. So when you go back to the location, you have to download the app. So I was having a conversation with people over there.
Yeah.
And the light bulb moment just never happened. There was no, oh, you're right. Actually, we should look at the wallet. But it's more recently it's happening. So it's a slow. I'm talking about tech here to there. They're now realizing actually the wallet stays on your phone. Let's go the wallet route rather than the actual app. Because otherwise you've got 19 apps for all the brands you get. It's crazy, right? You know. So I think Embargo here have done a pretty clever job because they're bringing all of those apps into one place, which is nice. Great product. But in America, it's just really interesting. The thought, I think it's education, completely education. It's like SMS versus phone, and then smartphones, and then everything changes. Even like Wi-Fi, we talk about Wi-Fi to people in America, right?
Yeah.
And in New York, it's a bit choppy sometimes. The internet might be good.
Yeah.
And we say to the owner or the marketing guy, what's the signal like in the restaurant? Yeah. And they'll go, in the front, it's amazing, but the back, it's just like, it's terrible. We have to get the password out the whole time. And there's a pause. And there's no light bulb moment of, actually, it'd be really good to capture that data.
Yeah.
But some of the newer generation are getting it. So I think it's education for staff and also education for people with legacy systems and stuff like that as well. So there's a lot of interesting tweaks in the US.
Exactly. And there's the part that touches economics, because like here the labor cost is like insane, right?
Yeah.
In the US as well, but they kind of like manage to
we got tippings a bit different here than there.
Tippings,
right?
So the absolute different systems, right?
Huge difference.
So the like officially like waiters there can have like a $5 per hour rate.
Yeah.
Because they are excluded from the minimal wage.
Yeah.
Like a thing. So here it's absolutely different.
Yeah.
And labor efficiency plays a huge role, and probably the density of population, right? Because you can spread a signal like quicker, much more quicker. And as you can see, it's a part of like an educational process.
Yeah.
So you can spread this signal faster. It's like people can adopt new patterns faster as well.
But it's if the tech companies want to push it out, I think it's just really weird. I think it's really interesting. It's really app heavy over there. But yeah, I think the tech conversation in the US, you must have seen so many different systems, so many legacy systems. It's just I mean, it's insane. I mean, the people we speak to have all got new tech. I don't speak to that many people with old tech, but there is just loads. You know, there's the mum and pup stores that are still there going for 30 years using the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
and it's becoming a huge challenge, like integrational challenge.
Yeah.
Because so many, so on average, the US restaurant is using from 10 to 20, like different pieces of technologies. So imagine the complexity of those integrational processes. So it's insane, and I believe the integrational part is playing a huge role as a challenge.
Yeah. Okay, so you did some research, you had a look around,
Yeah.
and then when did you come up with was this the first thing you came up with, or were there some little tweaky things that you thought about to do before?
Yeah,
So I'm sure your brain is firing. You probably
yeah,
going from where you came and coming to the US and just going, this is a bit interesting, like, or it must have, like, your eyes. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've been before, but like living there is very different to just visiting.
of
Do
course.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you have family and
Yeah,
kids and schools and like
yeah,
everything, it's kind of
yeah.
like interesting.
You're now immersed into it.
Yeah.
So
So I just like didn't have like a plan B. I just like wanted to do something,
yeah,
and you either die or make it work.
yeah,
So I mean, it's uh sometimes it makes you more efficient.
yeah, yeah. No,
This kind
100%.
of
So
situations.
where do we get to? So family in the US now, settled in.
Yeah.
That's done. And then we
Yeah.
right, ready to build. Like, close the door, turn the lights off.
No, I wasn't building. I was trying to, like at first, as I mentioned, try to
Understand?
just understand and probably like understand how can we use our like platform and tech in the US,
Yeah,
and failed with many different like cases. We tried to find the right niche because the US market is super
massive.
massive.
Yeah,
So we tried to like scale within like a coffee shop industry, and then like, let's do pizza, let's do flowers, let's do different like things.
yeah.
So
We have
failed
the tech.
many.
It theoretically could be used for anything, right?
Yeah, but I unfortunately didn't manage to like find the like a right scalable like a way to use this tech. And then all right, so I realized that I want to build something from scratch, and I knew it will be something in the hospitality tech space, probably hyperlocal commerce, because all my expertise is all about like a delivery and takeaway and online ordering
Yeah,
and
well, you've
like
got the
those
research for it
digital
as well.
channels. Yeah, and I've done like a lot of researches and talked to so many like people in the industry. And I just started to walk from one store to another in
Yeah,
downtown Chicago. I was sitting with my like a stopwatch, like measuring those
yeah,
like things. How are they doing, and like what do they do, and like making some notes. And I realized that there's a huge gap between like a digital ordering and the real like a physical operations.
yeah,
We all know that the like the restaurant and hospitality industry is heavily offline operational business, and like 95% of all processes are happening in real world.
yeah,
And restaurants have already adopted those digital channels and kiosks and apps
yeah,
and like a QR codes, everything, like no problem with this. But what happens next is a challenge.
yeah.
And
If it happens,
if it happens,
yeah,
but like it's happening like what we can see now, the hyper growth of
yeah,
those like digital channels. And at some point the number of digital like orders at this intersection of digital ordering and real life will not be manageable.
yeah,
So there is a huge like labor efficiency problem. People just spend like so much time managing those orders fully manually, and then there is a huge order accuracy
yeah.
problem. They just forgot about your drink, which is, I mean,
Or
we
it's
are
wrong, or
humans. Yeah, it's wrong
100%.
order. And there is a huge like data problem, because if no one is pushing those buttons, everyone has those 5 tablets
Yeah,
for Deliveroo and Just Eat and
yeah,
POS and TDS. But honestly, if you are like in rush mode, like you just like don't
yeah. I
touch those
remember
buttons.
about 3 years ago, before like the DeliverX of
Yeah,
this world came
yeah,
around, we had a restaurant in Soho,
yeah,
and it was like Starship Enterprise. You'd walk in and you'd had Just Eat, you had Uber, you had Deliveroo, you had Henchman, you had
yeah,
there were literally 7 or 8
yeah,
different tablets. This poor guy,
yeah,
his job was to stand there and sort of like do like gaming mode. He was
yeah,
like game, and there was no integration at that point. So he was like gaming mode and then putting into the till so it goes to the kitchen. So like it was literally like this poor guy who was sat there the whole. I mean, I remember it so clearly. And then obviously integrations come in place.
yeah.
So yeah,
But even if you have one tablet, like if someone wants to like touch this button every second when order is ready,
yeah,
it's completed, no one does this, which means like a restaurants just don't understand what does the entire customer journey look like, order cycle, right? So they probably can't understand like kitchen performance by chef by the end of the day if they are not using KDS and not touching that like a button every second.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a hard conversation with a chef to tell them to use a KDS.
Yeah, exactly. And the same like do we actually meet customer expectations? How long customers wait? What is our promise time accuracy? Because hospitality at the end of the day is about meeting customer expectations and probably ideally exceeding those expectations, right? So at least you want to understand, do you meet customer expectation? Do you meet promise time? I order my coffee or lunch. You tell me it's ready 12 p.m. I'm there. I'm not sure about my order status. And it's not there. And I mean, I'm staying there, watching this crowd and delivery drivers with huge bags.
And then we're getting their food before me.
And I'm like a bit like frustrated. And like 15 minutes later, like someone is yelling my name.
Or, if they get it right as well. Like that's the killer, isn't it?
I mean, so I noticed there's a huge like a gap. So between those digital channels and the real world operations. And I've started to make some iterations with the product. So that's how it started.
So were you looking at doing it for the delivery and collect as well as the customer? So for the concept of it, like, so there's two challenges, right? You've got the shelf with all the freaking numbers on it that people get wrong. The receipt might not be right. And then you've got the customer piece as well.
And I guess what we are building is relevant for the different use cases, not only for pickup and delivery orders, but for any orders. And we recently talked to more like a high-end restaurant, and they realized that they can use the same tech, the same concept at Expo, helping like a waiters to understand which dish goes to which table.
Nice.
So because
if you don't have the the head chef at the front screaming at everyone of what, and you haven't got the speed dial with the right information.
Exactly. So it's all about what we are building is like an infrastructural layer that coordinates orders. So you have your order ready. What is happening next? No one knows. Right now, it's fully manual.
The KDS gets done by the kitchen, by the chef. And then where does it go afterwards?
It's completed. So that's it.
Exactly. So the analytics say that the chef did it on time. But then the food got there 20 minutes later because it's like
But it's not really completed.
No, it's not. No.
So the and those like the last 5 meters, right?
They're the most important.
The most important meters.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
And actually, like your restaurants right now have like when customers order, especially digitally, customers come to a place and restaurants have literally 2 seconds to show they care, right? And those like 5 meters and those 2 seconds are, I guess, one of the most important because that's the way you can either show you care and show the sense of hospitality or just like make this transaction and that's it.
I totally agree. So what was the first iteration looking like? What did you do? What was the like?
First iteration was, all right, how can I keep that cup of coffee warmer? So I ordered a bunch of mug heaters on Amazon. Disassemble them.
How's that work?
See inside how it works, assemble it, and went to Starbucks, closed the Starbucks to talk to guys working there. And then from one Starbucks to another, just to talk to people. What if I build a system that works like this, but looks differently, and we can help you to heat this, this like cups of coffee, so it
I hate cold coffee. It's crazy. I hate it. I used to end up going to, and I haven't been to Starbucks for ages, but I'd go to Starbucks and ask if they're extra hot, because by the time it would come to me, it would be warm anyway.
But I quickly realized it's not a temperature problem.
No.
It's a data problem. It's a timing problem. So ideally, we want to understand like all like consumption patterns and your data points and place this cup of coffee 10 seconds before you come. And that's our way to do so. And there are a lot of things with reheating. You can't reheat coffee, for example. It's not a great product for reheating.
No.
The cup of coffee is...
Well, it's higher as well, right? So the takeaway cup has a little ridge underneath. So
exactly,
you're only really heating the bottom of the cup anyway.
Yeah, it's about the physics of process. It's about the product. It's about the cup of coffee, which contains a lot of plastic. So it's melting. So a lot of things.
Did you find some?
Yes. Exactly.
I would love that. Look, that's insane.
So I realized I'm not building a heating system anymore.
No.
I'm building a data system.
Yeah.
And I want to capture those data points to understand when order was placed on a shelf or pickup area.
Yeah.
When it was taken, was it accurate?
Yeah.
To be able to use this data to make customer experience better, to make operations more efficient.
Yeah.
So I started to iterate more and more and more and more, and then, I
you removed the heating element and kept the same pack.
Yeah, I finally realized I just need low cost and expensive weight sensors because you can't use camera because you can't see through packages.
Yeah, true.
Those are things that are very expensive. There are a lot of noise around pickup areas. So you can't catch every a moment and every order. And I realized that I want to build something very efficient, very inexpensive for restaurants because restaurant equipment is super expensive. I want to deliver the highest ROI for restaurants. And I want something very scalable and reliable.
Yeah.
So weight sensors, we're using sensors to determine the events, when order was put there, when it was taken, was it accurate? We're pulling information from their KDS POS system. We can understand whether it is whether accurate or not based on the information from their system and our plug-in machine learning algorithms, because we are learning from previous order history to recognize patterns better and predict whether this order accurate or not. So three main parts. We can understand ready time, completed time, taken time, whether it was ready. So we can understand the entire customer journey, patterns, delays, waiting times.
As far as the owner is concerned, if they've got the KDS, as you said earlier, the order's been placed, the KDS gets sent, they press the button on the KDS, and as far as the owner or manager or GM is concerned, that they're doing amazing. But the reality is that coffee's been sitting there for 5 minutes because no one's picked it up. So whose fault is that? Is it the customer that's not picked it up or whatever? And then, or it actually got to the pad 10 minutes or 3 minutes later than it should have done. So the reality is that it's like last mile delivery. Similar to what you built previously, which is the last mile delivery, but you're doing the last mile from production in store. So it's really interesting. You've taken your idea from back home and taken it and turned it into, well, that works for delivery and last mile, or do the collection. Now you're taking it to delivery for the last mile, or 5 meter mile, or last 5 meters to find out what's going on. It's really interesting. It's like you've done the same thing. Really, you've got the data, really. But you're right. It's really interesting that people do not have that information. And unless you've got someone on the other side with another KDS and they've actually pressed a button, which is very rarely that happens, to be honest with you. It's really interesting. And also the delivery piece, it gets lost anyway, right? Of when actually it gets collected. No one's going to know when it gets collected.
Yeah. And you actually, when you received a chargeback from delivery company, you want to understand who's responsible for that piece. Was this order accurate? Was it placed right in time? You just you don't have this data points.
No,
I know companies just show every order placing to a shelf with a camera just to move back if needed and prove with those screenshots it was placed right in time. So it's kind of not something that is working ideally. And I guess it's not it's not about
blame.
Blame of a third party. I generally want to help delivery companies work better. I recently talked to someone from a top large delivery a marketplace, one of the largest delivery providers in the world, and that guy was responsible for helping restaurants interact with delivery drivers in much efficient way.
Yeah.
So they came up with an idea of placing for free those like racks that help delivery drivers to find order quickly. They, based on their tons of data, like hundreds of millions of orders, they realized that every minute shaved like from this like a delivery picking up journey leads to 1% of order volume increase for this restaurant.
Oh wow.
1 minute equals 1% of volume increase. It's dramatic change. Massive, yeah. So I guess what we want to do is to help delivery providers interact with restaurants in the most efficient way. And I guess that's the way how can we send and source those data points about kitchen performance by shift, by day of the day, time of the day to delivery providers. So they are able to understand by using those clear data points how to optimize those deliveries because they have data from all the
So there's two parts really. There's the one part which is helping the operator, and then the other part is helping the delivery people.
Exactly.
So there's two prongs to it really. It's interesting.
Yeah. So
because you're not the marketplace anymore, right? So previously it would be you guys making the changes.
And we have had this challenge, and that's one of the reasons why I'm building this because I back in the days I had this exact problem. So there's a coordination problem. So customer ordered something for delivery, and there's a chain of different interactions, kitchen, and then like a POS and KDS and people and expo and delivery driver, and then
gap, and then just gap until it gets delivered.
Yeah. So we had this challenge. So I guess what we are building is this like a universal interface that helps restaurants to interact with their customers directly, or delivery providers, or probably in the future robots. Yeah, because your next delivery in probably 5 years will go with like a robot.
Yeah, 100%. It's really interesting. I didn't think about the data piece on the other side, giving it to the delivery companies, because that's where they're lost again, because that's the missing piece, right? From pickup to end, it's massively missing, and it would just be an argument between the operator and the delivery company. But you're able to actually really, and also you don't need to have a staff member standing there dealing with the takeaway all the time and directing drivers where they go, because the places that do really busy will have someone dedicated the whole day who is just standing there basically directing people, and you don't want a guy with a helmet on walking past all your customers. Do you know what I mean? So in the delivery side, are you people who have the racks already? Are you just inserting what you've got onto there, and so then the order, the right numbers are allocated to it?
So the idea is super simple, not to change their process. So
just make it easier.
Because so many great products in terms of engineering and innovations failed because of one word, which is adoption. And my idea is to be able to be seamlessly integrated into their current environment. If they are using shelves, we'll make those shelves smart. So we bring those like a tiny, slim pads, and we put them on top of those shelves, and we'll make it smart. The same countertop, the same like any other surface they are using. So we're not changing their processes or layout, or they don't need to spend a lot of money for capital investments for equipment. So it's a super simple.
And is that device just Wi-Fi enabled, what battery powered, or is it physical powered?
So we can do either one plug. The station is working.
Oh, nice. So you daisy chain? Nice.
Okay. So it's a modular system. So it's like Lego. So you combine those pieces. Nice. You need 10 or 20 or 2. You just connect those pads together.
Nice.
You design your station with this modular system, and you plug it in.
That's insane. So do you think it's going to be better? Because the other model, the way the pretty process on your website shows the pretty way of doing it, which is having a coffee shop and having your names at the end, which always gets wrong. So having that. So do you think that the way forward I mean, I can see the way forward in my mind, but the way forward is definitely helping delivery and expo and even expo in restaurants as well.
Yeah.
Which I never even thought about for that. And the adoption is pretty easy because all they're doing is putting a plate on. Are you showing both sides in the expo then? For like table number, for example. So would it pop up and say, so when they click the KDS in the kitchen, it would pop up with table number 25, for example? Are they seeing it on both sides? So chef sees it plus.
So we can do both.
Yeah.
So right now we are in a piloting mode. So we are piloting this solution with different brands, and they ask, "Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?"
Yeah.
So my answer is always yes.
Yeah.
And it influences the end price.
Of course.
And because I'm building a very low cost solution, so I just want to have maximize their ROI. So I'm trying to understand, all right, how can I help them to have this feature running, but not, for example, adding one more display.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to just mirror the customer number or table number for a staff member before they place the order.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the a way I'm trying to think. But if we see the request from many,
of course,
restaurants, we can implement this and make it happen. So
of course. So at the moment, how it's been built right now is the thing on the dots on the front, right?
Yes, and it can be mirrored for stuff a member, and then it's placed.
Perfect. So for the pass, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Expo done. Popped on table. It says table number 25, and then the guy comes and grabs it and knows it's table number 25.
Yeah, or you can number those pads. For example, you can see those pad numbers.
Yeah.
From your side, and we can print a pad number on a ticket.
Yeah.
By integrating with your POS.
Yeah.
Which is
nice. Okay.
Which is one more way to understand where you put the order.
Yeah. 100%. So the speed rail shows it too.
Yeah.
Nice. So they grab the speed rail, pad number 25. They go to 25. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And then you've got even more data points you can add. That's really interesting. So do you see? So the piloting you have at the moment, is it a mix of QSR? That have you done any piloting with any casual dining or that sort of side yet?
Yeah, I completed 2 pilots last year in Chicago with several coffee shops. One mom and pop shop, just single unit. It was super, because it was super easy to get there.
Yeah, of course.
You don't get through 12 levels of decision makers.
Yeah.
And then it was a 15-unit coffee shop just to try to understand how it works for the larger brands. And then I moved to the UK, and we are in conversations with different fast casual brands.
Nice.
And hopefully we can launch some new pilots here with different types of customers, because what I'm trying to learn is how this product can work in different environments for different brands, concepts, and for different use cases.
Yeah, because you can tweak it for anything. I when I first met you, I assumed that looking at the website and what it did, I thought about delivery as such.
Yeah.
Never thought about the pass. Never thought about the data piece to it. But it's in casual dining. Casual dining is massive for delivery as well, which is a massive problem.
Yeah.
Because you've got all these people just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
And drivers walking around. So you're fixing 2 problems really.
Exactly.
The analytical piece, the data piece on the driver. So you're on both sides. I'd love to see some when you've got a word. It'd be really interesting to see the anonymous data from the reality of how terrible drivers are. Because some of them are 60 minutes and you get your food, but whose fault was it? Is it the restaurant's fault? Or was it the driver's fault? Because sometimes you never know. It's the app will say waiting at restaurant.
Yeah.
But so it's very. I'm interested to see how the data is. But it's interesting to see. You could go from high end to from QSR all up to high end fine dining. It's insane. It's really interesting on the possibilities of what can be done.
Yeah, and it's not really the a restaurant fault or driver fault. It's a supply demand issue, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just you don't have those drivers.
Don't tell me that.
Right?
I just want my food.
Yeah,
I get it.
But
100%.
what we're trying to do is to help with this a supply demand issue.
Yeah.
With data.
Because the interesting thing for you is that if the food isn't ready and you have an integration into the POS or integration into the marketplace, the additional notification can be can set the customer's expectation.
Yeah.
Right. So if the food isn't ready and it's not on the thing yet,
Mhm.
right, it can say the food's being prepared and waiting.
Mhm.
But if it has been taken
Mhm.
or has been taken later,
Yeah.
potentially the last mile providers who are a bit lost
Yeah.
and don't want to charge back all the time, right,
Yeah.
can also be in. So the other piece you have really is sending the information over to the marketplace.
Exactly. And that's kind of like a strategy we used like while running marketplace, because if you can predict this order is being delayed, and you can just like inform a customer.
And also trends, right? You know that this
Yeah.
time of even better, like rather than the customer having to go into delivery and going, oh, it's
Yeah.
going to be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know that the orders are backing up because you've got the information.
Yeah.
The POS has the information.
Yeah.
We know that there's delays from the pad being picked up.
Yeah.
Firing an automation to the delivery platform to automatically change it, or to set their customer expectations. So when they go into Uber or delivery, whatever it might be, instead of saying 5 minutes, because it's not only 5 minutes, the reality of the time, because
Exactly.
you have to manually set it, and no one's got time to manually set the thingy. And also, everyone's got the integrations, so it's all into POS now. So you might not even have a delivery tablet somewhere. You'll have it on the corner somewhere, but no one ever looks at it.
Yeah.
Because it's fully integrated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what we've done with our Play First pilot in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we, so because we are sourcing those data points, we have like a great data portal with a lot of insights they never had before. So after 1 month of running the pilot, I opened the dashboard for an owner and show them that they're doing great. Everything is pretty much good. But one thing is kind of like a not very great is the promise time accuracy. So they, on average, they promise customers like one time, but they on average late for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which means it's not great. So what they've done, they've just like simply changed the like timing parameters. They are using Square.
Yeah.
And for every food category or every item, they can simply just like set up the like a time. It's not the most
prep time. They can just change the prep time.
Prep time. Yeah. But it took 5 minutes.
Yeah.
To make it happen, and then like,
they would have never done it. They would have never done it.
Yeah. And it's not the most efficient way, because ideally you have to adjust those things dynamically, right? So, but it's kind of like another play for probably
that's your next plugin.
Photon.
Right?
It's about like a high volume, like a chains doing this efficiency on a scale, right?
Correct.
But for that brand, it was enough to change those waiting time parameters. 5 minutes, promise time accuracy 30 seconds. Beautiful. Customers are excited. And at the end of the day,
they're not going away with cold food, right?
No, and customers started to order more.
Yeah.
They started to experience like a 3-5 times more orders through their direct channel. So they connected just like a direct channel, pick up. They had 5 different systems, like DoorDash, Dropout, Postmate. And they started to build those direct interactions with customers, because they control the entire journey.
Yes.
Customers love the experience. Customers love, oh wow, I have my name here. I can post it on like a TikTok or Instagram, because it's kind of like something.
Yeah, it's personal.
It's personal.
Yeah.
So they started to experience more and more and more orders.
Yeah.
So help them to raise the number of orders because of this like aspect.
So there's 2 pieces, right? There's one piece is that it's clearer and it's easier and it's understandable, right? And if they're busy running around, you do the education. There's the pickup area and the food's already there, and your name's already on it, and your numbers already on it, for example. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah.
And the other piece is the efficiency, because you normally have to pay for a consultant to come in to overview what you have. The external consultant comes in and goes, oh, hold on, you're doing it wrong. And they sit there for 3 days and they look at what's waiting, and they do like what you did with your time, with your thing. You just sit there with that, and they spent $2,000 for this consultant to basically tell them what you've told them in a week. So it's really interesting. It's there's so much more data that you can get out of it. And never even crossed my mind. I just, when we spoke and we looked at it, and it's a clever idea. I like it. It's cute. It's like a nice idea. But now the detail you've gone into it, there's so much more information, especially with saving money. Everyone wants to save money, right? You want to get more orders out. Yeah. You want to get more efficiency out. You want to get better quality out. Yeah. So then do you think the later on piece would be the plugins to the POS to make those changes? Yeah. To see when things are, if it's busy. Exactly. And then, So you're dynamically changing prep time.
Yeah.
So
and one more thing, you can track the customer location. And for example, in the US, Chick-fil-A, I'm not sure they're doing the same thing here, but in the US, you have your Chick-fil-A app.
Yeah.
And you are making your order, and you're walking down the street. And once you crossed the parameter, they start your prep. And this radius can be changed dynamically.
Yeah.
So the only missing part is your performance.
Yes.
So if you understand your performance, and if you have this data points, you can dynamically change those your radiuses.
Yeah, very
and imagine you go down the street, probably next year, you're wearing your smart meta glasses or your a hardware device from Johnny Ive. Something like this, right? And you say, hey, ChatGPT, order my coffee.
Yeah.
It owns all the context. It understands what does your coffee
and it knows where you
are. Yeah. And it sends your
customer's
order.
5 minutes away. Yeah. Very interesting.
Your location, your order, and you just come and grab and go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an experience I want to create for millions of people.
That's really interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. You're blowing my mind. It's so interesting of the possibility. Yeah, I mean, the future's insane. It's AI is already AI. I had a phone conversation last week with my first ever AI conversation. So I've had a conversation with agentic AI. I've had a conversation with ChatGPT and Claude and so on and whatever. My car now has Grok in it, which is really horrific, but worse than ever. But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, a friend of mine said to me, you gotta WhatsApp this guy, right? I was like, what do you mean? So I WhatsApp this guy. He's like, if you want to get in contact with anyone, he knows everyone. I was like, who is he? And it's just an AI, right? Anyway. I messaged saying, put me in touch with some marketing directors in these locations. It's like, sure, no worries. Let's arrange a phone call. When are you free? I was like, tomorrow. It's like, great. And it's just a really nice conversational on WhatsApp. Great. And then he called me the next day because he sent me that, when you can create a meeting link on Google with a URL. He didn't send me a meeting. He sent me the link to create the meeting.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't click on it, forgot about it, got a missed call on my WhatsApp. I called back. And it's an Australian talking guy.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because I had the conversation.
Yeah.
There was no of this pausing of the old school voice AI. Like when you talk and it goes, none of that.
Yeah.
He carried on talking when I was interrupting him, right? And then he stopped. And then he said, is this your first conversation with an AI? I was like, well, not really. Like proper personal conversation. Yeah. And he goes, don't worry, I'm sorry, I might hallucinate, but these things happen. So, and it's an Australian accent, so I'm immediately relaxed. And it was insane. And then I called it last night with my friends at dinner. And I was like, hey, meet my friends. And he was having a conversation. It's an AI agent that basically finds people for you. It's like you say, I want to find people X, and it will then find it. It uses tools, scraping, and then will literally email an integration, email you a connection to someone.
Exactly. What's his name?
Bordy. Bordy Boardman. That's the name.
I have the same body.
It's hilarious.
I have the same body.
Dude.
But my body has US accent.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It is so funny. I shared it to my friends yesterday.
Yeah.
It is insane. I've never had a conversation that
Absolutely.
well with any AI. Even ChatGPT and Claude, pretty good, but there's still the bits that aren't. The new Perplexity stuff is amazing, but just insane. Insane. So anyway, I digress. We're gonna go. So I'm gonna give you a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's so interesting. The data piece is just. I'd love to see some. So you need to show it to me.
Yes.
I'd love to see some analytics on it because I didn't even think about the speed, helping with the speed of service. So, but anyway. Thank you for coming. This was insane. I could probably talk to you for another hour, but we won't bore everyone on AI stuff. So, and I didn't talk about any of your questions here, but it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
So thank you. Last questions. Best restaurant.
Best restaurant. I mean, it's an interesting question because it's so many.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It could be anywhere.
I mean, it was probably let me say this: it was in and out.
In and
So it's
out,
like
it is insane.
it's like a
Yeah.
fast, like a true fast food US, like a burger place.
Yeah.
I love what they do.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like a watching theater. So like a Las Vegas
Yeah.
Strip, the busiest street in the world, and the like a restaurant just like close to this like a Ferris like a wheel.
Yeah.
And it was like watching the theater, 20 or like you're listening to orchestra, right?
Yeah.
20 people like making their job with the highest level of precision, like this choreography
Yeah.
of moving, relaxed and super efficient. So it was not kind of like about my experience or about my my like a food, which is great there.
Yeah, of course.
It was like they are doing like thousands of checks every single day.
Yeah.
And these people work like a machine.
Yeah.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Which
Question
was,
is,
like,
will they be
understood.
replaced by machines? I don't think
Yeah.
In and Out wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but it was like, wow.
But they're paid
Yeah.
apparently for In and Out people are paid pretty well.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they're not on minimum wage. I think it's they look after all their people.
Yeah.
So that you can understand why everything is so meticulous.
Yeah, I love the story and the culture and
Yeah.
the everything behind the brand.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, next question is best burger. So well, let's tie it together. Okay, last one. Best hotel.
Let me share like my last experience. We were visiting Wales, Cardiff for
Yeah.
Halloween with my family.
Yeah.
And we were staying in a hotel. It was nice, and it was Halloween day. And it's more about like how hospitality can be like over hospitality.
Yeah.
So you come to a hotel and everything is nice and decorated and like everything like Halloween style.
Yeah.
And those guys like behind the counter staying with their like
I love that.
scary masks. It was so fun, so great to see. But what takes like 1 minute to play a chicken took us like 5 or 7 minutes because I couldn't like hear properly that guy. And it's kind of like a story like about like over hospitality. So sometimes you can do like even more that can kill the
too much. Too much.
But it was fun. It was I just like I don't remember the
you can I'll tag them later. Okay, 2 questions for the next guest. Could be operator, marketer, tech.
Yeah. So first question. You wake up tomorrow and you grow 5x comparing to what you've done before. So what breaks first?
What breaks first? I like that.
And the second question is you're catching a cab and you go inside and you are in time machine. And there's like one button, like 10 years from now, you push the button, you open the door, you're 10 years from now, and you go to get your lunch. What does your experience look like?
That's insane. That's really good. I like that. Thank you. I'm going to give you another round of applause. Thank you. Give everyone a wave goodbye. There you go. Still, there you go. See you later, guys. Thank you. That was really good.
Thanks. It was